I made a boo-boo. Now, Grace and Todd, I am humble enough to admit when I may have gotten in a little over my head. I committed a heinous act against the musical gods that bestow the faithful sounds we hear upon us. Because I made a video on Radiohead. Me thinking that I could listen to a band, try and figure out why people like them, discuss my feelings, and thinking that we could come together and build up a community. How silly of me. How naive. Thankful for the views, very thankful for the engagement, but my God, I didn't think I warranted this. I have several videos critiquing a multitude of bands with very strong fan bases. And yet, for some reason, the Radiohead one is the one that has gotten me the most attention. Now that it's been a week and I've taken the time to listen to Radiohead, holy shit, I've listened to so much fucking Radiohead in the deep, darkest recesses of the night when I'm alone by myself in bed. I close my eyes, I listen to Tom York's voice, and I have come to the conclusion that I still don't like them. But I think I can articulate exactly why I don't like them. And I believe in everything that I try to do that the discussions of why something works or something doesn't work for you is much, much more interesting than the discussion of is thing good or bad. I get it. I have things I love. I have bands I love that if someone were to tear down, it would feel like a personal attack. Radiohead has always been a band held at an arm's length from me because I've always been told that they're so important and you have to understand their evolution and how they've grown and how they've changed and how they craft their albums. You have to understand these things to understand the band. And as a person that doesn't understand it, I get a little defensive. So I'm going to take this opportunity to go through the comments and just sort out anything that I feel may be misrepresented of what I was saying or something that I feel like I should clarify. My main goal for this channel has always been and always will be to push for conversation, to push for a dialogue about art, whether it be movies, music, or any other media that requires some sort of creative interpretation. I like to view all the possibilities before I decide which one speaks to me the strongest. Once again, I'm trying Radiohead for the first time. Let's see what people have to say. You wrote me a goddamn novel. First, the music video you watch is pretty bad. The first music video. That was a hospital one, right? I actually like that one. Yes, still listening to the entire album. There are a few exceptions, but mostly I only listen to full albums anyway, so Radiohead suit me in that regards. I long for a return to a crafted album experience. I feel like we've been shifting more towards singles, and that has led to really disjointed records. A lot of the albums that I go back and listen to and lacking in the back half of the album because the front half is the one loaded with all the singles. I'll listen to Pavement more. They're good, but I've only listened to their albums once. Listen to Shady Lane. If you listen to any Pavement song, listen to Shady Lane. And if that doesn't get you interested, then Pavement probably isn't a band that you'll like. They're the greatest band in the world. Don't get me wrong. But you may not like them. See how that works? See how that works? Tom was known for being an unapproachable twat back then. Yeah, that's how he kind of came across in the documentary. The man was not in a happy place. He doesn't seem arrogant to me, though, just really snappy. I'm trying to imagine what it would be like to constantly be held as some sort of deity for the past work you already think you've improved upon. Like my demo songs being considered better than the final product I spent ages tweaking. Huh, yes, I completely agree with that. But there are a lot of bands where their demo versions, I would say, is a superior version of the song because there's just something raw in it that doesn't quite match up with the final recording. They both exist. Another fun fact about Tom York is that he said a few times that he doesn't like his own voice either. He doesn't think it's capable of aggression. I agree with that, and it's probably why they go for the reverb vocal approach. Limitations are an odd consideration for making music. They normally define a sound, like how budget's forcing people into lo-fi or something. Maybe Radiohead would have stuck to traditional rock if Tom thought he had a voice for it. That's an interesting aspect of it. If you're limited by your vocalist, then isn't it the job of the band to hire a better vocalist if it's limiting you? But also working within those limitations can create something unique. I don't care about good singing whatsoever because I listen to shit like this. You can sing like shit, just be honest with it. And my favorite vocal performances from Tom have been the stripped down versions when his voice is cleaner. So that's a preference. That's a preference. I didn't realize they were long songs, but thinking about it, there aren't many short ones. That's fine. I understand prog rock. Prog rock is going to have longer songs. I really appreciate it when people are open minded about music, so props to that. Thank you. What I especially like about Radiohead is how experimental they are with music techniques, like time signatures, progressions are my favorite, so try and listen to all the elements if you can. And I definitely took those things into consideration when I was listening to the full albums, and I was able to hear a little more of their diversity to say. When you take the albums as a whole and you get like the overall tone of the album, you can then find the nuanced differences in between each song. I love a lot of progressive metal, the human abstract, Between the Buried and Me, Protest the Hero, and they do it in a way that doesn't take away from the metalness or the sheer energy of the music. And that's a hard thing when discussing music is that it is such a gut reaction. I will say that Radiohead has incredible production. The bass is thick and the dynamics are always very full. Listen to Reckoner, and if you don't like that song, then you just don't like Radiohead. I feel like there's no point in listening to Radiohead song expecting anything. It's very much music to just close your eyes and relax, so I suggest doing that. I don't remember which song was Reckoner, but I'll take a listen to it right now. I'll close my eyes, and I'll try to relax. Here we go. You know what helps me relax? A little Blue Dream, that's for fucking sure. I like the guitar riff, the da 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 da. Here's my thing with Radiohead, and it's honestly just a musical preference. They spend too much time trying to soak you into the music that sometimes I just want to get to the point. But I also can acknowledge that the point of Radiohead as a whole is that vibe, is that mood. Too repetitive for so long. It's the same fucking drum beat and the same guitaring for 5 minutes. How do I express this? How do I show what I mean? Okay, let's get personal. Now, Prawn is very similar to Radiohead in that they favored long songs that are conceptual and meaningful and also very mellow. But the difference with Prawn is that they never lose my interest and they always maintain an extreme level of energy that I feel Radiohead is missing. I'm trusting the audience that if you trust me with Radiohead, or your precious connection to that band, then I'm gonna trust you with Prawn. And this is how we build. This is how we converse. You're like an old cold waiting for the season with the soundtrack ripping bluegrass. So hopefully that gives you more of an idea of where I'm coming from. You may not enjoy the band themselves, but you cannot deny that there is something in the music that makes you just wanna fucking move. Radiohead just misses that moment. Like when all the drops come in their songs, they choose to just maintain the flow. Whoa, got a fucking paragraph here. Let's go. I've never heard of Payment. I gave it a try and they were really good with Radiohead. Awesome. You have to remember that they change a lot from album to album. So usually they will have something to offer for people who listen to a wide variety of genres. And after listening to albums, I can say that there is a lot of variety between them. And if there's gonna be 70s dad rock you listen to, Yes and Rush, I would say is probably the best you can do for that genre. I also got into punk, post-punk, goth, and industrial, Nine Inch Nails, Ministry, etc. Awesome. Holy shit, James. I feel like we would be friends. Nine Inch Nails has always been one of my favorite bands, and Ministry I've seen. James, we're vibing. I do not know why people are so pissed off. You are young. Complimenting me. I feel like we're building something here. I did a little research on Payment, and they used Nigel Godrich as a producer, same guy that did Radiohead's best albums. And after reading up and listening to them, I get a Radiohead vibe from them big time. It's probably why I like it. That's interesting. I did not know when I suggested Pavement that there was actually a Radiohead connection. That's funny. I would recommend Aura. It happened quiet live. I'm taking requests from the audience now. Oh, sick video. I have no idea what's gonna happen. Oh my god, we're in a castle?
Eyes blue and hollow as it rains against their will.
Is this Flagpole Sonata?
Fast falling all through the window.
This is definitely not for me. I'm glad you like her. I like her style. The fishnet gloves are really cute. This is just everything I don't like. You want to put me to sleep? Put this on. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Jessica. Never be scared to give me a suggestion, okay? Even if I disagree. If you want energy, you should try their album The Bends, probably their most heavy, energetic album. I will say, when I was going through their discography, The Bends was the one album where I got the most excited when each song started. I like the raw acoustic guitar. There doesn't seem to be as much layering on Tom's vocals. It seems a little more stripped down, a little more personal. Listen, all I want from a band, from a recording, is for me to imagine going to a house show, going to some kid's suburban fucking house 40 minutes away. You cramp 50 fucking straight edge kids into a living room and you start playing music. When I listen to a band like Radiohead, I can't help but feel like I'm sitting up in the nosebleeds watching them on a tiny stage in a giant sponsored arena. It's like in the Radiohead documentary I was watching, the band described the difference between them and Oasis as Radiohead likes to isolate people and make them feel connected to the music. I'm gonna sing to you. You're gonna feel like this is your song and this is gonna be our special moment together. Where Oasis was this big camaraderie, audience driven, where everyone is coming together and singing as one. Those are two very viable approaches to performing. I do think it's a good kind of measurement to what kind of music you like. I don't think we should separate bands from genre. I think we should separate them from tone of what the music is presenting. Is it a club band? Is it a bar band? Is it a living room band? Can you react to the Smiths? I know it's over. A little random, a little out of left field, but if I'm gonna listen to Aura, then I guess I can listen to the Smiths. The Smiths, do I have any strong feelings on them? I have Meat is Murder on CD from when I was a child. Didn't really listen to it that much. Morrissey's kind of a cunt.
I climb into an empty bed. Oh well.
I haven't listened to much Smiths, but I like the production. I love the raw acoustic guitar. I like the melody, how it's kind of this Elvis-esque 1950s kind of ballad, but he was singing very fucked up, sad shit. A little long. 6 minutes is fucking long. Guys, stop making 6 minute songs. Holy shit. Loved it. Boom. Followed up on that. No hate intended here, but if you think Foo Fighters still have it, you won't like anything Radiohead. No, Foo Fighters don't have it. I hate Foo Fighters. I was just using them as a mainstream example because a lot of people have heard of them. National anthem is a good starting place to gauge whether you like this band in the long run. Okay, let's do that real quick. I never expect the saxophone solo to come out of nowhere halfway through, but a lot of my problems still persist. We have a really sick, groovy bass line, but it takes a minute 40 for the vocals to come in, and you're just hearing the same bass line for that entire time. I know you're having fun jamming, but do you want to get to the song at some point? I do like the sax solo though. It was weird, but it was sick. To get Radiohead, you have to pay attention to their evolution over time. They completely reinvented themselves as part of a reaction against being pigeonholed by the genre or whatever. Kid A was a revelation, though not particularly fun listen. They're definitely not your typical pop band. If you say, in order to like this band, in order to get them, you have to listen to hundreds of hours of songs and see their evolution over time and understand the philosophical ideas that they're implementing over their albums, they may not be a good band. They may be really good at making albums, but I also think a band needs to make good songs. So it's weird when the argument for why I don't like it is that I'm not listening to more of them. That's not how music works. Look, feel however you want to feel about them. It's all fine. But you put out a half-hour video filled with snark where you came in clearly haven't prejudged the outcome. Seems like a waste of your time and ours. Oh, Whitney Wham Wham Wazzle, I'm so sorry I wasted your time. If there was some way I could rebate you for the time you had lost, though I don't think I forced you to watch a half hour. I don't know how to not be snarky. It's a defense mechanism. It's how I interact with the world is through sarcasm. I'm sorry you didn't like my tone. I did try to come in with a very clear, neutral head out of respect for my patron because my patrons are fucking family and I treat them like such. You need meds and a rational adult. Telling someone they need to be medicated or sedated or seek psychiatric help because they didn't like a band, I feel like no matter how clearly I express my opinions, if it's opinion you disagree with, then what can I do? Maybe I do need meds. Maybe I do. But that's not for you to say. You're free to not like Radiohead, but you're weird. Granted, I would never deny that. I would never fight against that notion. Point A, taken. They're the Beatles, Pink Floyd, Stones. All right, hot take. You want a hot take? I don't like any of those bands either. I don't care about classic rock. I don't care about the Beatles. I don't care about the Stones. Pink Floyd is the only one that's kind of okay because they're trying to say something about the state of education. And to me, pop and rap are the worst forms of garbage ever created. As long as you're not into that shit, you're okay. Hold on. They're definitely not your typical pop band, but they are a pop band. So there seems to be some disagreement amongst the Radioheads themselves. Fucking goal to completely dismiss the two biggest and most influential genres, not just on music, but culturally. You're free not to like a band that is good, but you better not fucking like the things I think are bad. You can agree there's some people that are good at it. Try to stop listening to yourself and maybe you'll be able to listen and feel music. I've gotten these comments before. Guys, I have to edit out the 3 minutes of me listening to the music. Do you just wanna see me sitting here in silence listening to the song? Because I can't play it on YouTube. I can't play it. I listen to it. And then when I do the videos, I'm going over them again and then remembering the talking points that I had the first time I listened to it. And if I hadn't listened to it previously, then I listen to the whole thing, then go back and do my pause and talk. To progress in art, in culture, we must discuss it, we must dissect it, but we also must empathize with one another when talking about it. It's not to just dismiss the things that people care about, but to want to be curious enough to ask them about it. Curiosity and empathy are the two things that I will praise above all else. I was curious about Radiohead and I empathize with people that enjoy them now. I hope that through conversations, through talking, that we can become more curious and we can grow together as a community. Sorry I talked about a band you liked. I'm sorry. I'll never talk about music ever again. I feel better. Hopefully you understand my perspective a little more and we grow. These comments weren't as bad as I thought they were. A lot of them were very genuine and I just don't understand the negative. The thumbs down is very intense, but whatever. As long as it gets my videos out there, it is fine. And if you took the time to watch this, thank you so much. I'm Grayson Todd. Stay posy, listen to good shit, and I will hopefully talk to you in the future. Toodles.